Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A Wild West shootout on St. Thomas leaves 2 men dead. The senators have a major decision to make. A St. Kitts woman loses her last appeal, and international models for literacy. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, it's official. St. Croix has recorded 14 murders, and St. Thomas now has 14 homicides as well. Last night, a shootout between 2 men in Friedenhoy section of St. Thomas left both men dead. News Channel 8's Lee Carl has more.
This area has been a area of shooting a couple of times. I was here when the police cleaned out the general area to get rid of the drugs. The basketball court has been repainted. It's a nice recreational area, but unfortunately there was a shooting. 1 man down, 1 injured, and here is the official report.
This is St. Thomas St. John District Police Chief Rodney F. Garrett Sr. On Wednesday, May 3rd, 2010 at approximately 10:14 p.m., police on St. Thomas were dispatched a shooting in the area of the Friedenhoy ballpark. Upon arrival, police found 1 unresponsive black male who appeared to have been shot at least 1 time. Emergency medical technicians determined that the male had no vital signs. He was later identified as being Vince David of Smith Bay, St. Thomas, 41 years of age. A second shooting victim was transported to the Snyder Regional Medical Center via private vehicle, where he later succumbed to his injuries. He was identified as being Sheldon Bosolil of Friedenhoy, St. Thomas, 25 years of age. Preliminary investigation revealed that both males were possibly involved in an altercation between themselves that led to their death. 2 firearms were recovered on the scene, 1 Glock 9mm and 1 Smith & Wesson 9mm. This investigation is ongoing. I'm requesting that anyone who may have witnessed this situation or who may have any information relative to this incident to please call Major Crime Supervisor Sergeant Lionel Best at 340-642-8449, 340-715-5545, 340-715-5544, 911 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
In St. Thomas, out near the Friedenhoy basketball court on the east end of St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And in other news, our Virgin Islands senators have a very important vote to make today. And according to Governor DeYoung, it could mean the difference between borrowing money to stay afloat or possibly facing payless paydays for government workers. As we speak, the Senate on the Whole Committee is deciding our fate. Let's take a peek, courtesy of the Legislative Channel.
The fact of the matter is, in 2007, the government of the Virgin Islands recognized record revenues of $944 million. And the best time to address the structural fixes is when you got money. Not when you ain't got money, because the only fix you're going to want to offer is to borrow. So Senator Dow spoke about a structural fix. And the truth is, the governor at the League of Women Voters annual meeting in 2007 said the government's financial structure is, quote, a house of cards, quote, that has left the territory about $3 billion in debt. The governor said this 3 years ago. And frankly speaking, the same administration has done nothing. Absolutely nothing but spend and borrow and blame the legislature of the Virgin Islands. If the other senators don't want to defend themselves, that's on them. I won't do it. We're not the executive, we're the legislative. They're blaming us, Mr. Chairman, for giving them a lump sum budget, this administration. They say the reason why they ain't paying WAPA is because we gave them a lump sum budget. Could you imagine that? The gall. And that's how you pronounce it in America. We just say gall down here. But the gall of this administration to say that because we gave them flexibility that they asked for, that you normally do when monies are tight, is the reason why they haven't paid WAPA.
Superior Court is somewhat like the legislature in terms of, course, the separate branches of government. You have money in the bank?
I'll let the CFO tell you that.
Good. Goody, can you put your name on the record for me, please?
Good morning, Senator Paulette Rapsat Simmons, Chief Financial Officer. Yes, we have money in the bank.
And since governments, we are I mean, in some basic political science tenets, governments operate pretty much zero funded. You all don't operate zero funded. You all operate what in for the past couple of years you've had money in the bank because of what you operate through cost savings measures and you put these savings away in a rainy day fund, or what? Why would money be in the bank whereas and government other agencies run at a loss, or even the government itself doesn't have a rainy day fund in a recession? What makes the court, what are you doing in the Superior Court so different?
Well, part of the reason we have money in the bank is because we take a portion of our allotment out because we pay our vendors. We don't pay through the Department of Finance, so we have to take funds out to cover our operating expenses. So
Yes.
we withdraw a percentage of our allotment to cover our obligations to vendors. We pay our vendors separately.